Shae Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Stewart McCallion, the Managing Director for Burley Minerals. Stewart, it's great to see you. How are you?
Good, thanks, Shae. Good to be here.
Stewart, it's been one heck of a year for Burley Minerals. Can you give us a recap of what you've managed to achieve for the company this year?
Yeah, I certainly can. Look, it's been a great year for us. We wrapped up our lithium Chubb lithium project at the beginning of the year, recognizing obviously the sort of the lull, let's call it, in the lithium market. But we put Chubb into a good spot. It's dormant at the moment, but it's ready to be awakened when the lithium market starts to rise and improve again. However, we are fortunate that we have iron ore assets in Western Australia. And these two are the focus of this year has been the two assets in the Pilbara. Broad Flat Well, which is a channel iron deposit about 100 k's outside of Karratha, and the Cane Bore deposit about 100 k's outside of Onslow. So let me start with the Broad Flat Well. Look, at the beginning of the year, we released some rock chip samples from Broad Flat Well. Again, supporting earlier reconnaissance work that we identified around 70 hectares of channel iron deposits outcropping. Those rock chip deposits or rock chips from the sample said, yeah, look, it looks like there's some mineralization there. We moved quickly to get our program of work approved from DEMERS, the department here, and also a heritage agreement in place with the Yindjibarni people on which Broad Flat Well is in their traditional land. So the Yindjibarni were great. They worked with us very well. They're certainly keen to sort of get on board. We signed a heritage agreement. We moved quickly to get a heritage survey completed. We went up there. I spent some time with the Yindjibarni on country, and right afterwards we did a drilling program. Not bad. Look, Broad Flat Well, there is something there. There's mineralization. It's in a good spot, 100 k's outside of Karratha, right next to the Red Dog Highway. So there's infrastructure and all the rest of it. However, at the same time, we've been getting through our Cane Bore deposit just outside of Onslow. Now, Cane Bore, as I said, 100 k's outside of Onslow. We had to get a conservation management plan approved by the DBCA. That's the Department of Biodiversity, Conservation and Attractions. Mouthful. So we had that conservation management plan approved in April of this year. So while I'm getting things moving with Broad Flat Well, I'm also getting Cane Bore happening. I'm trying to push this management plan through. It was approved in April. The plan then goes to the Parks Commission. Parks Commission send their recommendations to the Mines Minister. Mines Minister sends his recommendations back to DEMERS. Nonetheless, long story short, exploration license granted at Cane Bore in September of this year. This is great. Like, Cane Bore is a much bigger project, the same sort of mineralization or geology as Broad Flat Well, but on a much larger scale. We're talking up to 1,500 hectares of possible channel iron deposit sort of mineralization. Now, what was a real catalyst for us to sort of shift our focus is the CZR Miracle Iron deal that's happened at the beginning of the year. That is a 33 million ton reserve about 50 kilometers north of Cane Bore for $100 million. That's a $100 million deal that's on the table right now. And again, I'm sure that most of your audience are very familiar. This area has just started to come to life, mostly driven by the great work that MinRes are doing on their Onslow Iron project. So that means Onslow is coming to life. Onslow is on the table. It hasn't received, as I've mentioned before, the same sort of joy that, say, Port Hedland or Karratha, Dampier have received in the last 20 years because of this massive iron ore sort of boom, let's call it. Onslow is now a player. MinRes have started to export out of Onslow. They've set up shop, big export facility, dust-free, et cetera, high-tech, innovative, you name it. MinRes are doing it. Nonetheless, it opens that up. But our project is only 100 k's from Onslow as well. Nearly 1,500 hectares of channel iron deposits identified. So we, got the grant, the exploration license granted, applied for the program of work, the drilling application that's still in process, started to revitalize the conversation with the traditional owners for heritage surveys. went out, sorry, and mapped and rock chip sampled the whole area, getting the momentum going at Cane Bore. So where we are, we received some assays back from the eastern flank of this deposit where we intend to start our drilling. Looks good. Looks like it's confirmed what we had suggested or indicated before around mineralization, certainly at the surface. Again, the progress or the discussion with the traditional owners is continuing. We're developing that relationship with the TOs and really fostering it. And I expect we'll get those heritage surveys sorted as soon as possible. So things are happening.
There's been some incredible achievements this year. I didn't undersell it when I asked that question. I guess sort of what we want to know now that 2025 has kicked off, where is Burnley Minerals going to start?
Yeah, look, it's certainly the focus will be Cane Bore. And again, we have heritage agreements in place with a few traditional owner groups, and then we're lined up to get the heritage surveys done. These groups are quite busy, and you can understand. There's a few small operations going on, like Minres, Rio Tinto, you name it. It's a hive of activity up there, and it's just people that kind of maybe poo-poo iron ore, man. These are generational investments up here. And so with generational type investments, these are long life, but it means that everybody and their brother is involved in getting these things going, including the traditional owner groups. So they're saying, look, we've got a lot of work on. We like your project. We want to be involved, but we got to fit you into our schedule. So that's happening. And we've been conversing back and forth, and we're confident we can get that work done. We get the heritage work done, we're on the ground drilling. That's basically it. There's a bit of earthworks to do to get in. Again, this is an old pastoral lease, so there's quite a few tracks in there. We can get around quite easily. However, get the heritage work and get drilling, and we're off and running.
Listen, Stuart, what an incredible year it's been for Burnley Minerals, and it sounds like the best is ahead, especially for the Cane Bore project. Thank you so much for being here today. I can't wait to speak with you about the further updates.
Sounds good, Shae. Thank you very much. Happy Christmas.